Every time we see someone violating the law, we immediately think of informing the police. You might have seen the police officers filing reports and arresting persons either in real life or in the movies. Police officers are the ones who arrest the people who commit crimes. So we tend to think that they are the ones who decide whether a person is guilty or not. But this is far from true. After a person is arrested, it is the court that decides whether the accused person is guilty or not. According to the Constitution, every individual who is charged with a crime has to be given a fair trial. Therefore, we need to understand these processes as well as the roles that different people play within the criminal justice system. From this incident, you can see that the four key players in the criminal justice system are the police, the public prosecutor, the defense lawyer, and the judge. Now let's try and understand these roles in more detail, starting with the role of the police officer in investigating a crime. Now, one important function of the police is to investigate every complaint regarding a crime. An investigation includes recording the statements of the witnesses and collecting different kinds of evidence. On the basis of the investigation, the police are required to form an opinion. If the police think that the evidence points to the guilt of the accused person, then they file a charge sheet at the court. The Supreme Court has laid down guidelines for the police. They must follow them at the time of arrest, detention, or interrogation. The police cannot torture or shoot anyone during an investigation. Also, they cannot inflict any form of punishment on a person. Now, Article 22 of the Constitution gives every arrested person a few fundamental rights. Let us review these rights. The first one is that every person has the right to be informed of the offense for which a person is being arrested at the time of arrest. Then every person has the right to be presented before a magistrate within 24 hours of arrest. And finally, a boy under 15 years of age, and basically all women, cannot be called to the police station simply for questioning. You remember I told you about the Supreme Court guidelines? These are known as the D.K. Basu guidelines. And now let's review them, all right? First and foremost, the police officials who carry out the arrest or interrogation should wear clear, accurate, and visible identification and their name tags with their designations. Secondly, a memo of arrest should be prepared at the time of arrest and should include the time and date of arrest. It should also be verified and signed by at least one witness who could be a family member of the arrested person. The arrest memo should be countersigned by the arrested person. Now let's discuss the FIR, which stands for First Information Report. Basically, without the FIR, the police cannot begin investigation. The law states that it is compulsory for an officer in charge of a police station to register an FIR whenever a person gives information about a cognizable offense. Now, a cognizable offense means that a police officer has the authority to make an arrest without a warrant and to start an investigation with or without the permission of the court. So moving forward, let us find out about the role of the public prosecutor. Very important. A criminal offense is obviously regarded as a public wrong. It is considered an offense committed not only against the affected victim, but also against society as a whole. Do you remember the dowry death case where Sudha was burnt by her husband Lakshman and her mother-in-law, Lakshman's mother? So the case against the accused party, that is Lakshman and his family, was presented by the state. That is why the case was called the State versus Lakshman Kumar and others. The thing is, it is the state that presents the case from the side of the complainant, the role of the judge. The judge is like an umpire in cricket. He conducts the trial impartially and in an open court. He hears all the witnesses and reviews all the evidence that is presented by the prosecution and the defense. He has to decide whether the accused person is guilty or innocent. Now, the judge has the most important job. His judgment can be directly influencing a person's life. It's like that famous saying, it's better than 10 guilty men go free than one innocent man be wrongly convicted. Having said that, let's discuss what is a fair trial. Now, Article 21 of the Constitution states that a person's life or liberty can be taken away only by following a reasonable and just legal procedure. So we see that it is important for every citizen, irrespective of their class, caste, gender, religion, to get a fair trial if they are accused. One should remember that our Constitution says that everyone is equal before the law. But the only way that is possible is if the system is efficient and unbiased. And with this, I shall take your leave. Stay curious and keep learning. Until I see you next time. Goodbye. Tutormate. For more amazing video lectures, download the free app on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.